Wow, look who's here. It's Virginie. Hopefully I said that name, but welcome, Virginie. We're so happy to have you here. And wow, look who's here. Virginie is an intimacy coach, and we're going to find out what that means exactly. And Virginie, we are happy to have you here. And I know that you love serving women and also couples, as we have talked before. But I think what you do is just incredible. So I want you to share a little bit about how you help. Let's just stick with women for right now. How you help a woman with intimacy and what intimacy actually is referencing.
Yes. So thank you so much for having me first. I'm really honored to speak here on your stage today. So, what I really love for women is to have access to the full range of their being. And part of us being women is a pleasure. And so we are beings of pleasure. We're born with this capacity for pleasure. We have organs in our body which main role is to give us pleasure. So I really want this for women to have because what happens is for a lot of us, and I am including myself a lot of times, I have to remind myself of this, it's that we put everything else priority before. Take care of the household, we have our job, our career, our family, we take care of other people's, our friends. We always have a lot of things that have to go before we can have a moment and have our pleasure. It's like almost guilty. We say the word guilty pleasure, right? Because it feels so guilty. It feels so selfish to spend a moment for ourselves for just being in pleasure. And when I say pleasure, I say not only sexual pleasure, I'm really referring to just enjoyment of life. I call this sometimes the orgasmic living, like the experience of like feeling good in your body, feeling like things are so well. So in order to have that, we have to actually to fight against the whole imprinting and culture and so many layers, which in my view is a little, maybe a lot. There's a lot of injustice between men and women. And I think that for women, it's even more difficult. It's even more difficult to really say, no, I'm going to take some time to feel good, to just amp up this turn on energy in my body. And usually, even that's a very trap. I'm an intimacy coach. I'm helping women having better intimate relationship with their spouse, with their partners. But it's also sometimes what I do is sounds like contra intuitive is to forget about the sex, is come back to your body, come back to the sensations in your body, to your presence. And the sensation of pleasure, you can be turned on without having to do anything with sex, without having to go anywhere with it, apart from you being on, turned on. That's like the light, the switch is on. You flip the switch, you're on with when you are present, you're more magnetic, you are more you attract things to you. Have more this capacity of manifesting where we talk of maybe some people know about this manifestation. So these are the conditions that we have to put in place so that we can have that in our lives. And that's more than the sex, but it also includes the sexual intimacy because this sexual intimacy should be feeling so good for everybody. We all have our right to pleasure.
Yes, I agree. Oh, wow. Okay, I
Yeah.
could take that 100 different directions, but I hope people are understanding the definition of that intimacy and the definition of pleasure. Funny, 2 things I literally, not joking, that I thought of when you were talking. I was like, "Oh, peanut butter and chocolate."
Yeah.
I'm
So I
thinking
love
about the
that.
things on the ocean where they're rolling up on me. I'm like, that is like everything to me. It's like those are the
Yes.
2 things that dropped in my mind when you were talking.
Yes. And I love it because these are things you can use to bring this. And so I call it energy. That might be something abstract, but I think people might understand. Like it brings this energy into your present moment, into your body right now, because your brain cannot. It's like you conjure this in this moment, and by thinking about it or by anticipating the pleasure, maybe you're gonna have some peanut butter chocolate, or maybe you're gonna go to the ocean at one point, or you're gonna do something that is like that and brings this yes, oh, it feels so good kind of moment in your body. And that's the truth. That's the truth of the magic of intimacy and of being present in your body. It's not about what you do, it's not about performance, it's not about a trick or something it you have to do or perform. It's really about that. It's thinking, yes, I enjoy myself.
Yeah, I think it's like being very present, right? And self-aware, I think, is probably another thing that kind of popped in my
Yes.
mind when we're sharing that. And it's interesting. And I think it's one of the things that's so cool about what you do is because I think there's probably a lot of specifically, especially women out there that don't even know that there's a person that can, I don't want to say hold your hand, but like walk you through that process and that it's even important. I think we're so wired to nurture and do everything for everybody, as you pointed out, that it's sometimes hard to swing the pendulum back to center to yourself. But the reality, and I don't, maybe you would you agree that when you come back to yourself, that you actually do serve better when you are able to serve yourself and have those pleasure moments that you're talking about for yourself, it allows you greater space and capacity to nurture and serve the things that we seem to naturally want to do. Is that accurate?
Totally. I have an example of a client. I just talked to her yesterday, and she was telling we were working on her like bringing about a pleasure. And one of the things I do is also helping people determine what's their erotic blueprint. So there are 5 erotic blueprints. I am not going to go into detail right now, but if you can find which one is yours, it's much easier, like you said, to nurture your body, to nurture your being, and then find things that really brings this aliveness inside of you. And she was doing that, and she went to this fair. It's like a magic and witch, and she bought some stones, and she was so happy. And she was feeling first a little guilty because she had to ask her husband to take care of the kids. But when she came back, the children, they were so delighted to see her in her zone that the daughter started to make some drawings. Oh, mama, you look so radiant, you're so glowing. And they were so happy around her. So she was sharing in a way. This joy was like rippling out to her family in a way. Yes.
I love that. And I think it's a perfect depiction of how that taking that moment, like you're saying, and really being present with your own pleasure and things that make you happy. Because I think pleasure, people, I think in the act that the one sense of the word, like they always go one direction with it, but it is so much more expansive than that. That
Yes.
word is. And that is, and and because that's only one area of our being in our life, and we tend to lump it all that way, it's almost like an all or nothing. It's
Yeah.
either that over there or we don't have any of it over here. And I just love that you actually are coaching people to actually bring it to all parts of your life, right? And really have it be part of your daily practice. But how cool is it to actually have somebody walk you through what is your blueprint or what works for you? Because it's not going to be the same because we're not all the same, right? But that acknowledgement, and I always say awareness is the key for so much. Sometimes we don't even know what we don't know, which is where you come in and where your area of expertise is helping someone identify that. So, Virginie, let's talk about what does it look like for somebody that says, "Yeah, I need that in my life." What does it look like working with you, or how does somebody start that process with you?
Mm. So first, yes, I love to expand this area of pleasure so that when it comes to intimacy, in sexual intimacy, the pleasure is already part of your it's part of your life, it's part of your, and so it's just easy rather than trying to force something or to try and be something you are not or somebody you are not. So it's super, super important. So first, when we start, the first thing we do is we have a consultation where you tell me about what's going on in your life, and there is no taboo. And I'm such a, yeah, open ear, and I welcome you with everything you are and everything you think you should be and you're not and you could be, and everything, all the things, all the fields. So you come and you can have a place to put it all with me. So this is the first step. And from there, I will be able to assess what kind of journey we can have together. But usually, the journey starts by discovering your erotic blueprint and then start to work on your body, start on working on the sensation. So we will first do that before we go into the dynamics of the relationship and how to communicate and approach and understand your own needs and your own wants, because sometimes we don't even know. So many women, they come to me and they think they know what they like or they don't like, but usually their definition is so restricted because it depends on their partner and they've been together for a certain number of time, and they define themselves in regards to in this relationship. And so we expand that a little bit so that this like feeling of your wings are opening up and so when we do that, we also I help you approach your partner from a different way, different angles. Because if so far what you've done has not worked, you need to change it. So you need to have something different. So I help you with that. And then we'd start to bring back the play and the fun and the connection and the erotic into the mix.
I love that. And I think it's, as we said, it's in all areas of your life, right? And how wonderful it is to actually know. It's one of the things I love about doing this show is that there it's an introduction to so many things that are out there that people aren't even aware of. I'm sure there's probably people that are watching that are like, I had no idea somebody actually could walk you through that or could help you with that. But the fact is your whole life will be better when you tap that what
Yes.
gives you pleasure and knowing that blueprint does touch all areas of your life. So you have a gift for our viewers, and I want to talk about that before we wrap up. And I'm going to put the link up on the screen, but I actually want you to share it. You can go to lovecoachvirginie.com/get in the mood. And can you tell us what that is, Virginie?
Yes. So that's the thing where I thought it would be so useful for many women just to have the switch. Because sometimes it's hard to flip the switch because like everyday life and doing the laundry and it's late at night and I don't know, the day's full. And so this first step, the where to start, is to help you find the switch. So this is a very simple 5 to 10 minutes ritual, a little practice that you can implement in your life right away. And so if you go to that page, you will see the steps appearing one by one. So it's very easy to follow. And then if you want to go further, there's another gift inside the gift, which is like a little audio guidance. So if you go through the first part, you would see afterwards the audio guided practice where you hear my voice and you just close your eyes and you follow. And it's very nice. It gets you much more connected to your body and it's awakening this little good feeling inside of you.
I love that. That's awesome. That is an amazing gift. And I thank you, Virginie, for being here on the Wow, Look Who's Here show. 'Cause wow, look who's here. Somebody who can actually help you connect with what gives you pleasure and how that pleasure can expand into all areas of your life. Do go to lovecoachvirginie.com/get in the mood and grab your freebie and the second freebie that's inside the freebie too. And then you get to hear her amazing voice as well. And also, if you are curious, you can actually book a call to talk with Virginie and learn all about her and her magic and everything that she does. So I want to say thank you, Virginie, for being here. You have been an amazing woman to share with our Wow Warrior community. So thank you for being you. Thank you for everything that you are doing to help women and especially really I'm going to say find themselves and connect with themselves. And I think it's a beautiful thing. So thank you for being you and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Sherry.
And if you'd like to learn more about the Wow Warrior Network and the Wow Warrior Wisdom Circles that are launching currently, please go to sherrileopold.com and we'll see you in the next episode.